guys, how's it going? So it's already been a busy day for Erin and I. The first thing we did was got up and we drove to Boise and we picked up a load of plants. So I'm really excited for that. Excited to show you guys all the projects we have coming up. But I am working on some other things around the house. I'm working on a specific area right back by our kitchen door. It's where we walk by every single day. And if you remember from any of our past, I think maybe in a garden tour video, I showed you what the ice melt did to our sidewalks. So I'm gonna try to clean that area up, like redo the containers by my door. There's a little area I'm gonna plant right there, and then after that's all done, I need to clean up all the concrete. We had a huge rainstorm the other day, and it brought in a ton of junk, and we had just power washed everything. Like all of the house and all the sidewalks in preparation to paint, so now it's all dirty again. So I'm gonna clean all that and then hopefully get it painted. But it's been kind of a damage control day too, because yesterday it was like gale force winds all day long. I was down at the garden center and we had a potting seminar, which we ended up having to move inside, which was kind of a bummer. First time we've ever had to do that in May. But it's just kind of like the whole day we were just picking plants up off the ground and keeping things watered. So it's kind of a mess here today because our elm tree is just right now putting off its seeds, which I will show you proof as to why elm trees are the worst, and I'm so excited to get it out. First thing I'm going to do though is go into the greenhouse. I'm going to show you what I'm going to put in my pots. So I messed around with a bunch of different plant combos, and I think that this is it. Western sword fern, an autumn frost hosta, I think this is a Gumdrops Cocoa White Begonia with the chocolatey leaves, double white blooms, so pretty. And then a black mondo grass because I wanted dark on both sides, a couple of trailing ivy, and then some impatiens. So I think that's going to be a really nice shade combination. And I know people, and me too, like we sometimes struggle with shade combinations because it's hard to find stuff with color that looks, you know, super striking. I think that this does it. So I'm going to load them up on my cart and head up to the kitchen door. I'm going to show you guys the Belle Epoque tulips every time we do a video like this because they are amazing. Look at that. I think most all of them are open. Beautiful. Okay, so check this out. This is why elm trees are the worst. Look at all of those seeds. All along all the edges everywhere. They're in my flower beds. This is an area I'm going to plant today. But look at this. I've got like a nice elm seed mulch. And all of those turn into crappy little weeds that are really hard to pull. And that's why that tree is coming out. Okay, so there's a toffee twist carex that was in there from last fall. It actually looked really pretty through the winter, just a little structure. And then I always put pine cones as a soil top dress just to kind of, I don't know, dress it up a little bit. Kind of embarrassing that I still have pine cones in my pots, and it's May. I need to go grab some soil and an extra bucket for all the old stuff. Look at all the elm seeds. Oh my word. Would it be weird to grab my shop vac and try to vacuum those up? Like, would my neighbors think I'm crazy? I'm thinking maybe they're light enough that the shop vac will suck them up without sucking my mulch up. I think I'm gonna try it. Alright, so there's the first project done. I really love this combination. Look at how that looks. So you've got the Western sword fern, autumn frost hosta, the black mondo grass, begonia, the ivy, and the impatiens. I think it's a really like peaceful blend of colors. So now you can kind of see this whole makeover area. So it starts with the pots, and then the next spot I'm going to do is this right here. So there was a gumdrop shaped boxwood planted right there, and it got a bunch of snow like right from the edge of this roof. It came down and it just smashed that boxwood, so I had to dig that out. So now it's full of, well, elm seeds. There's some lamium in here and some really pretty hostas. So you can see some hostas worked in here, some sweet woodruff, ground cover. And then I have 6 pink frost hostas, hellebores sitting here. They've been sitting here for weeks, you guys. So when the flowers first came out, this is kind of how they look. A really pretty mauve back on them. Anyway, so I've been kind of just waiting because I was waiting to get some little boxwoods. So I'm going to pull these rocks out. I'm going to do a little micro hedge of North Star boxwoods right here. around the front and then right back to right here. And then I'm gonna plant something, maybe like a small sized hydrangea, like a little lime or something right in here, which I think I have, I'm not sure, gotta go check. Anyway, so that is the makeover area number 2. And then when that is all done, I can clean everything off again. So a few days ago, we had a massive storm. It just poured rain. Areas around us got really bad hail. That thankfully passed us over. But we had just power washed all of these sidewalks. See all that dirt right there? It just, like, it was coming off, the rain was coming down so fast that the gutters couldn't keep up with it, and it was just pouring down, and then all the water was coming in right here. So I have to clean that all off again, and then I'm gonna paint right here. This is what the ice melt did this winter. But I think once this is all done, and I probably need to get a new mat, then this kind of little area I think will be kind of nice. It'll be like tidy and pretty. I have plans for this, but I think we're gonna make a separate video out of that. I think I'm also gonna paint that right there. Just some like random maintenance things that needed to happen after this winter. So anyway, I'm gonna go get the boxwoods. Okay, I got pretty much everything excavated from this spot. I moved this pot just temporarily. Got my boxwood set out. There was a bunch of big flat rocks back in here. And then check out the irrigation. I don't know what the heck is going on here. Looks like it comes from over here and then comes and then just does this. That is so weird. So I went and got a few little pieces and parts. I'm gonna try to use the same tubing but kind of like patch it together so that all the boxwoods are like well irrigated. And I did dig these hostas up. This was one clump which actually turned into 3, which could probably turn into more. See that? It's a nice looking hosta. And then there's this, well, this one I'll separate about right here. All right, fix the irrigation so that there's some corners in there. So it goes all the way back around. It'll run right alongside all of the boxwoods. So everything should be happy right here. So now I'm gonna place some of these hellebores. So I think it's just gonna look super abundant and full having all of those hellebores and really nothing else in there. I thought while I was planting maybe I would stick like a little wispy annual grass in between, like right there and there, but I don't know. I think once I get this pot done and get a little green height going on, it'll look really nice. I planted the 3 hostas, and I don't know what variety these are because they were here. I planted them right around the base of this pot, and this side of the pot is pretty much all shade. So I almost suspect that these boxwoods will grow a little bit slower than the ones right out here because these ones do get some morning sun, right? Like from about here over. So they'll have a little bit of a growth rate just based on light requirements, but the awesome thing about boxwoods are they're one of very few evergreens that can handle both sun and shade. So if you have a shady spot or a sunny spot, you can put a boxwood in it and it'll be happy either way. This particular variety of boxwood I chose because it stays on the small side at maturity. Like it stays 2 feet-ish, maybe a little bit more. So it'll be very easy to keep in a very small hedge. If I were to choose something like, oh I don't know, like a green mountain or a winter gem, something that wants to get 5 or 6 feet tall, if I try to keep it in a like a 1-foot hedge, it's gonna get super woody and really unhealthy after a while. They don't typically grow as fast as like a privet hedge or something like that. They're a great choice for a smaller hedge, but choosing one that stays smaller at maturity just gives you that much more time. So I'm really looking forward to it, and I think the North Star is a zone 5 through 9. I think. I'll have to double check. But I think they'll be really happy in this area. All right, so the next order of business, I brought the shop back over and I am going to try to vacuum all of this junk up. All of these elm seeds, I'm gonna see if they'll come up off the mulch. They're just everywhere. Look under, see, there's the maple tree. Elm is right over there. Look at the ground right here. It looks like snow, and those are all elm seeds. Gah. Terrible. Elm seed. Blah. Not super impressed with his shop vac. I think it would have taken me forever to do it. It worked on the sidewalks, but not really in the flower beds. I did kind of like clean them up a little bit, but There's quite a few weeds in there around the roses. A lot of you guys have asked me how I weed, like how I keep up on it, and I really don't. I wish I could keep up better with it. I weed by hand, most everything. I don't spray typically. I'm not against spraying. Like in driveway areas and areas where you clearly don't want anything growing, I'm okay doing that, and we've got quite a long driveway wraps around our property. If I had to hand weed that thing, I would have no time for anything else. So that I don't mind being sprayed, but everything else in the flower beds I do by hand. I do not like to use tools unless it's a really deep-rooted weed like dandelions or elms that I've missed that have, you know, when they take root, they just go a mile down. Anyway, so I'll use a little trowel to kind of pop those out, but everything else I do by hand. I just don't prefer using tools. I don't like, especially the ones that just cut the weeds off at the top, like wing weeders. You know, the ones that you just kind of roll on the top of the ground, they just cut all the weeds off. Because you're perpetuating the problem. You cut them off and then they just grow back and you have to do it again, and I'm just not into that. So this week I actually made myself a chart, like a chore chart, and I hope that it will help. Like I broke the garden up into different areas, hoping that if I can compartmentalize each area and I actually have a list where I can check it off, because that actually is satisfying to me, that maybe it'll help me like get through it. So I don't know, we'll see. I've made it through one area today. I actually got distracted when I was cleaning up the elm seeds and I did one half, like I weeded this side. Oh, these privet hedges are so bad, you guys. Ugh. But this side's all done. So now I just need to do this side of the rose garden. Then I get to check one off the list for this week. So now I think I'm gonna start painting. I've got to paint this set of stairs. This goes up to our back sunroom. And then, like I said, I need to paint this big. This is the worst one. I need to paint this right here. It's gonna make it look so nice when it's done. And then I actually am gonna bring the hose over before I start painting. I'm gonna clean all this dirt off because I think this section, pretty much all of it needs it. So I'm just gonna do a quick roller, you know, the paint roller over that. I need to do this little area right here, and then the stairs up front. So I'm gonna go get a hose so I can clean this off, let it dry, and I'll go paint the stairs up front. And it's starting to get a little windy. Concrete is drying, finally ready to paint. And now I can't find my paintbrush. I'm gonna go try to find one out in the garage. Look at how beautiful these look. Even after all the wind, they still look good. Aha, I think this is it. I got a cheap one so I could just throw it away. So just in case you guys are wondering what I'm using, this is a concrete stain with a white base. It's taupe gray. It's quite runny. This is a lot runnier than regular paint. I need some napkins or a paper towel, please. I got it on my fingers. Look, on my ring. This, you guys, is why I wear a fake ring. That actually really does help. So look at that spot right there. We pressure washed as much of the paint as we could get off. But it looks so much better. Took about 15 minutes and look at how much better it looks. Well, I just did the top of this and it is not the same color. I don't know how I didn't realize that until I had done it. Look at that. So now I have to decide, do I like that color better? Maybe. So the wind is starting to pick up and it's blowing those little seeds all over into the wet stain. So I'm gonna stop for now. The staircases look so much better, and I did get the back stair to the kitchen door done, and I actually am gonna just go with the color. Even though it's different, I think I prefer this taupey gray color over the blue. But I'm gonna have to do a second coat on this piece here because you can tell the pieces that were bare. They took the stain differently. So I'll do a second coat and see how it looks. And then it's gonna be more work, but I'm gonna have to just paint the whole thing, like all the way around the house. But I think it's a really nice rich color. I'm really happy with that. So we'll see what it looks like when it's completely dry. It's not quite dry yet. Like all that's still wet. Anyway guys, I'm really happy with how all of this turned out. I didn't really get to finish all of it. I need to go get some mulch for this little area with the boxwoods and the hellebores. But everything just looks so much more clean and tidy over here. And I don't know, it's just good to feel like there's something going on and like things are getting a little bit better, especially after this last winter. So thank you guys so much for watching this video, and we will see you in the next one. Bye.